we live? What's good, great people? I am Ezel Moon, and I have a special guest in the building today. But before we get to that, I want to make sure I shout out my sponsor, Spirit Tree. If you're in the Austin, Texas area, make sure that you guys have Spirit Tree downloaded to your phones. Get your food and your drinks from them. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. So now, who do I have today? Well, honestly, to me, and really to anybody in Dallas, he's a Dallas, Texas legend. We got Fat Pimp joining us today. We're going to hear about his come up as well as, a couple of his opinions on certain things. And, we'll get a couple words of wisdom for those that are looking up to that man. So make sure. What's going down?
What's going down, bro?
Man, not much. It's an honor to have you with me today. If you don't know, you will know. We got Fat Pimp in the building with us. Man, Dallas, Texas legend right here, y'all.
Hey, appreciate you having me today, man.
Man, bro. Appreciate you for taking the time out to do this, brother. Sincerely. So, man, I saw the title of one of your CDs. It's Long Way from Camp Wisdom.
Yeah.
Man, hey, as someone that has had to take Camp Wisdom to go teach them kids in Oak Cliff, Texas, I can appreciate the title, goddamn.
Yeah, man. You know where it came from?
What's up?
I was in LA. I was in LA in 2015. I actually was staying in LA in 2015. Right. And I had went to this mansion, bro, like way in the hills. Yeah. And I remember taking a picture. And one of my cousins was like, man, you so long way from Camp Wisdom, man. Oh. I kind of thought about it. I said, you know what? That might need to be my campaign. So for about a whole year, that was like the hashtag, just long way from Camp Wisdom. And it really stuck with me, bro, because anybody who grew up where we grew up at, to be able to go travel and to just to see the world is a blessing. And I was just saying, I use it for motivation for people that I grew up with, people that's growing up around me, just to let them know, like, it don't matter about your circumstances. You can always change your surroundings.
Amen to that one. So now you've been wanting to be a rapper since you were 10.
Yeah, probably about 10 years old.
Yeah, so people often use music as their way to escape, right? But what really got you into the art of it?
What really got me into the art in the beginning was the producing side. Somebody I grew up listening to was Pimp C. Pimp C was like one of my favorite artists. Yes, and then when I finally found out that he was producing those records, kind of gave me motivation, but it also gave me like a cheat sheet. I understood that I can go ahead and make beats and get famous for doing that. And a lot of producers back when I first started were charging like $1,500, $2,000 for a beat. Then you had to pay for your studio session. And I'm in high school and college. I couldn't afford that. So I started making my beats and just really working on my craft. And really by the grace of God, man, I was able to survive in college off of making beats.
Amen to that one, brother. Amen. So now you worked with people like DSR, Riff, man. So I know I was reading one of your prior interviews. So I had to do a little research. And before they looked at your music, they were looking at you for your production. But what drew their eyes to your music, your actual pen?
BET came to TSU one year. The Black College Tour.
Right.
And I was battle raps. So when they had the freestyle contest, I got up there, I battled like 5 people, and I'm winning the contest, getting on BET for a whole week. And Rap City actually came and did a segment the next day. So I actually got to host Rap City. So just imagine, people say, that's the dude that be making the beats. It went from that to, he could really rap.
Right.
So I'm on BET for a whole week. Every day they had this little commercial where they would show me on there rapping, and then I was hosting Rap City. And then right around like 2000, maybe 7 or 8, I got like my first bit of radio play. And then next thing you know, kind of just was like a ladder from there. Just started climbing up some more.
Most definitely. Man, you recently, like I was reading some of your tweets. You recently mentioned something about, hey, is it okay to feel a type of way if these DJs are still playing your old hits and not playing current hits? And honestly, as a fan, right, as somebody that says, I listen to him, right? I still love your old hits. I'm not gonna lie. We, you know what I'm saying? In Dallas, we're jamming it from V Live all the way to goddamn me from Skillman in Ardelia all the way to, you know what I'm saying, to Arlington. Everyone's still, you know, they still throwing their shoulders out, dipping, hitting the, you know, my body, all that, right? But what, as the artist, right, as a person that's putting out the content, what are your thoughts? Like, do you feel like, you know what I'm saying, it still helps, or is it something that's that hurts the fact that you have new art, you have new music?
I think it's kind of a mixture of both, because on a positive side, you're still thought about, because it's easy for people to say, I don't have to play his music ever again, versus I got to run through 5 or 6 of his songs a night. That's always a plus, because that means that they ain't gave up on you yet. But the reason why it's bad is because I can't keep getting booked for Rack Daddy. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah. I want to be able to and drop new music. When I drop new music, I want the DJs to give new music the same support that you used to give Rack Daddy. But the problem is, a lot of DJs, they play it safe. A lot of DJs like, I'm not gonna play the new Fat Pimp. I'm gonna stick to what I know, and what I know is gonna work on my crowd. So, but then I can't complain. You know what I'm saying? I can't complain, because it's like, at least they care enough to play your old music. Because there's a lot of people who never got their music ever played in the clubs.
It's true.
So I take everything as a blessing, as a plus. But deep down inside, I wish DJs would start giving artists a second chance. And the reason why I say second chance, because I feel like they kind of categorize whatever you first came out with and keep you in that box.
That's real. That's real, man. Now, you know, let's talk about the city for a little bit. You know, you mentioned in the Observer that, you know, Dallas is missing more national artists, right, recording there. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, you know, Dallas has somewhat of a mixed history with artists, because, you know, you look back and think about, like, at certain concerts, Sway Lee got hit in the face in Dallas. You know, that happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like it's kind of a mixed bag when people think about Dallas. But what do you still feel like? Do you still feel that way, that, you know, more people need to come here to see the to experience the culture, to record here? What are your thoughts?
Well, not right now. I think right now everybody should stay gone for a while, because I think Dallas, we got to learn to start appreciating things when we have them in the city, when we have events, artists, everything. That way, when people come again, we'll start appreciating when people do come to the city. What I was trying to say in the interview was really on the basis that Dallas really needs more major artists. And what I mean by that is, when you mention Dallas, you really can only mention like maybe 1 or 2 people that's ever made it hip-hop wise in the industry. And that to me is a problem, with this being the number 4 market, I think, in the country. And we got maybe right now maybe 1 or 2 major artists. That to me is a problem. That it makes no sense. Because you got a dude from El Paso, Khalid. He one of the best things that happened to some music. He's from El Paso. But when you think about that, we don't have nothing like that. Not no black artists. So we got.
What about we got? Well, never mind. Because I was trying to include Yella Beezy into that, because
Yella Beezy is the exception. He's one of the people, when I say the 1 or 2 people, because Yella is an established artist. He done went platinum. But other than him, and I don't even want to name drop, because I don't want people to think I forgot about him. But really, other than Yella, when I go to New York and I'm doing interviews, doing blogs and stuff, the only name they really bringing up is the same 2 people. That to me, I think is a problem. It's not a problem for them, but it's a problem for the city as a whole.
Yeah. That makes sense. How do you think we can, you know, you can, like, from your vantage point, how do you feel like other artists can get out there even more? Because it seems like, you know, we got like, there's a lot of hometown heroes. You know, I'm originally from Houston, right? So I grew up listening to DSR, but, you know, me, I was also listening to Screw. You know, Zero, ABN was my go-to back in the Gap, right? Trey and Roe. But, you know, how do you feel like we can break out of artists can break out of Texas?
I I would say do it the H-Town way. You know, the H-Town way was put your music on the CDs and sell it. I was born in Houston, bro. You know what I mean, on the West. So, like, what I seen as a kid, I used to watch your local rappers like Youngster. You know what I mean? You see somebody like him, you see him at the mall, and he was on the radio. He had the music. I think Dallas just really has to start working with each other and do cross promotion. When I was at TSU, I used to watch Slim Thug drop an album, Power Wild would be there, Zero would be there, J-Dog would be there. Everybody would be there supporting. If Dallas did that same type of energy when Yella drops, or I don't know, whoever, Bobby Session, if he drops, or if Erykah Badu got something that's coming out, everybody in the city was saying, you know what, for 1 week, we're going to all change our Abbeys to Yella Beezy's CD cover. To me, that's how you show strength in numbers, bro, because we can't do this by ourselves. When you go to Atlanta, people think Atlanta just got it made because they've been working together, but they don't understand it's a chain of command. It's people like me and you who sit in these rooms and at these desks and say, hey, Young Thug about to drop, we're going to all rally behind him. Migos about to drop, let's rally behind him. I got a new artist. And then they break down how everybody's going to get paid.
Right.
If people in Dallas did that from the get-go, oh, man, this would be a rich city right here.
Yeah, that makes sense, man. That makes a lot of sense. Because it's a lot of talent. It's a lot.
Dallas listen, this was crazy about Dallas. Dallas probably has more behind-the-scenes talent than any other city in America. You know, we got Bobby Sessions just wrote Savage for Meg Thee Stallion. We got producer Jay White down here doing his thing. So a Latin producer out here named Dustin Gavassos. Him, Cardo Got Wings, the one that produced for Drake.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Dallas has the talent. Dallas just doesn't have the face. And when you don't have the face, it's hard to think about Dallas as a music place.
That's a real one right there, man. Yeah. I never ever thought about it like that at all. But I got you. So
right.
let's I got all right, real quick, because you think that there's more behind the scenes talent in Dallas than in Houston?
Yeah, because you know why? Houston is always going to be the face of Texas. I just watched the interview with Noriega and Jay Prince, and they don't even mention Dallas. When they say Texas, the first thing they say is Houston, and it's cool. It's not a bad. It's like the little brother, big brother syndrome. So in order for people to recognize Dallas, there has to be more faces out there. Dallas doesn't have enough faces in the industry.
That's real.
That's just me being a realist, bro. That's not me sugarcoating. I'm just keeping it all the way real. If Dallas don't show their face, there ain't no place for them in the industry.
That's real. So man, let's talk about the quality of music real quick, man. Do you feel like you're still an up and comer, or do you? Because like I myself, you know, I've introduced you as, oh yeah, man, he's a Dallas legend, because when I was first experiencing your music, I was out in Dallas, and this is like, you know, this is because I'm, like I said, I'm from the H myself, you know, I'm from the spot, you know, so but like I said, my experience with your music was out here, so you know, as I always entitled you as a legend, like out here, right?
Right.
Do you feel though, you know, the higher you go, the quality of music that artists release changes from like when they're first hungry and an up and comer to when they finally get on?
Yes, it happens like that time and time again. And let me tell you why. When you first get on, the one thing that you're not worried about is expectations. When you first go to the studio and you dropping your music, the only thing you're doing is making music for you and your friends and the people that you're focusing on. Once you become successful and you got deadlines, you have a certain amount of records that you have to sell, you start listening to other people. Your manager might say, hey, why don't you switch this genre of music? Or your friends might say, man, keep it street. But the record label like, no, we want to put you with this type of producer, away from this type of producer. The next thing you know, you're making a project based on what you think everybody wants instead of making the music that got you put on. I know, man, because I've done it myself. I went through a period where my old manager, he didn't want me to do club music no more. He was like, man, you need to do the backpack lane, you know, like the cool kids, and you do that type of lane. And I listened to him. But what happens is my show slow down. And when your show slow down, you kind of you try to play catch up to get your situation back in order. So every artist go through it. I don't care what artist you name. y'all got like one project where you like, man, why did he put that out? You know what I'm saying? So.
No, you're right though, man. It's crazy. I always thought that, you know, it was just the mindset was a switch. I didn't know that the record label was the one that was just driving that. I thought it was like, oh, okay, well, you know, I'm not hungry like I used to be, so you
Right.
know, I can lay back off of like how hard I need to go.
Sometimes it just depends on the person, but from what I see, majority of people is trying to please everybody.
Right.
Some of my favorite artists like Big Crit,
Yeah.
and he's a perfect example that went through that phase where he came out, he was hard. Then he dropped something and was like, it was industry, it was cool, but it wasn't Big Crit we grew up on.
Yeah.
Then he dropped projects and you're like, okay, he back. Look at Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne new mixtape. I don't know if you heard it yet. He back to the old Wayne.
No Ceilings 3?
Oh, Ceilings 3.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah. You think he's back to the old Wayne?
Yeah. There's no look. I'm gonna tell you like this, man. I've been waiting on Wayne to like take this music game serious again. No Ceilings 3 made me feel like he still got it.
You for sure?
I'm for sure.
Okay.
Look, like Juicy J just dropped a new project the other day too. His
that
new
project hard.
Hey, that's that. It's Mafia Juicy J.
That's the. I'm not gonna lie. Like, see, I didn't expect, but Juicy J has always stayed in that bag, right? Like that's his pocket, and it's not as if like he's trying to appease and kind of like what you was talking about. He's not trying to appease everybody. He's gonna invite you into his world, and you're either gonna be good with it or you're not. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. And that's just what it is. You play that around a bunch of different people, and they'll be like, yeah, no, I'm feeling this, right? I can rock with this. You know? Shoot.
Right.
He probably still got fans from when he did that thing with Katy Perry and whatnot. That's rocking with him now. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
Shoot, bro. But man, let me get back into these let me get back into these questions. So people into making progress.
Mm-hmm.
How did you come up with that acronym, my brother?
Okay, look, I gotta tell you the whole story. So the first time I ever went to Sway in the morning, he asked me about my name, about the Pimp. And coming from Texas, we don't really look at pimping as sex trafficking and endangering, you know, women and stuff like that. So he asked me, have you ever pimped a girl before? I was young, so I was like, yeah, I pimped a girl before, you know, made her buy me some Jordans and whatnot. And he really told me up, bro. He was just like, so you cool with your daughter being sex trafficked? And I'm sitting there like, damn, you know, I didn't realize it was such a bad word. And then fast forward, I missed out on a lot of endorsement deals because of my name. Then I started getting into acting. So I've been acting probably since 2015. And when I was doing the interview, this lady was like, you know, asked me about my name. And I said, well, I'm dropping the Pimp. She said, why? I said, because it's such a negative name. And right then she was just like, well, why don't you like give it a positive meaning? So I started, what could it be? Then I heard, I think it was Magic Don Juan. He said something along the lines where it was similar about what pimp really means. So instead of like players and stuff like that, I just said people, you know what I'm saying, are making progress. And the reason why I said that is because I want to be able to go to these schools, and when I'm talking to these kids, the teacher might say, man, why do you call you pimp? And I say, well, this is what it really stands for. It's no different with the N word, man. You know, it's kind of like either you hate it or you deal with it. And I'm at the point in my life where I'd rather people like it and deal with it versus hate it when they first hear it.
That's real. That's real, man. That's real, man. You got to protect the brand any way you can. And you got to protect that brand. I feel that. And say so. You know, just a little bit into your personal life, man. I saw this as well on Twitter, man. You were talking about Target was racially profiling you at the self checkout.
Bro, first of all, I used to work at Target. I worked in Target in Oak Cliff, and I worked at Target on Westheimer, and I worked at the Target on San Felipe 16.
Time out. You worked at the Target on Westheimer? Which part of Westheimer?
I can't even think right now. To be honest with you, I think it's only one Target on Westheimer. Not the one at A-Leaf. I'm talking about the one like close
further down, right? Going like, hey, you know that Walgreens over there on Montrose?
Montrose, yeah.
Bro, I used to work at that Walgreens. On everything I love, bro.
Yeah, man. Bro, Target was my first job in high school.
Yeah.
Target was my first job in Houston when I moved back to go to college, bro. So I know how the system goes.
Right.
But I was shopping with my wife, and we went to the self checkout. We probably had maybe $40 worth of stuff. I watched the lady greeting everybody, you know, talking to them, talking to their kids. And as soon as me and my wife went up to go to the register, she looked at us, left where she was at, and then and basically came and stand almost behind me while we were checking out. And so almost close enough to where, like, if I was to do my arm back, I probably could have hit her. Now, what made me realize what she was doing was she wasn't paying attention to nobody else. She was literally like, the way I'm looking at you is how she was looking at me while I was checking out. And as I'm checking out, she's looking down in my basket and stuff. And I'm like, okay. It's one thing to just make sure a customer needs some help or something like that. But I'm watching all these other white people behind me checking out. And the thing about it is, I would have been cool with it until another person walked up too. Like the person who works, I forgot what they call it.
The loss stopper?
Like loss prevention.
Yeah.
I watched this Chinese dude walk up and act like he was having a conversation with her. And they literally just standing there focused, watching me do this. And then when I got ready to check out, I seen her go look at my basket to make sure there wasn't nothing in there. And I was just like, I turned around like, can I help you? She was like, oh, no, nothing. And as soon as I checked out and got my receipt and started moving my basket, the Chinese dude walked back to where he was at, and she went on by her business. And the reason why I felt it was because she didn't do it to anybody else. And this is the third time. This is the third time that I've been in Target checking out, and I've seen them do this. Then even when you walk around the store, the secret shopper always act like he's shopping and stuff. You really can't trick me because I used to work for y'all. So I already know y'all tendencies when people come in the stores. And I'm like, man, this is really a damn shame that it's 2020, 21, and y'all still got to watch somebody check out $40 worth of stuff.
$40.
I got a pocket full of money, man. I'm not here to steal. And even if I was here to steal, man, you honestly think I'm going to jail worth $40?
$40, bro.
$40, bro. My bill, I think my receipt was like $46, man. And I didn't have nothing worth stealing, bro. I had like some socks and underwear and like a t-shirt for the night.
That's terrible.
To me, it'd be funny because they think that they're being like they're trying to scare you, but really you're not scaring me. You just make me laugh on the inside because I'm like, bro, you're profiling the wrong people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's the funny part about it because while they over there watching you, Buddy in the back is over there getting away with murder right now.
Aaron is getting all the stuff, man.
I'm talking about he hitting all types of licks and just you keep going. It's a terrible thing, man. I feel like it's that's one thing that other coaches don't really understand about us and the type of struggles that we have to deal with. This isn't something that's not a normal for those that don't look like us. That's something that we in particular have to go through.
That's the reason why whenever somebody tells me, man, I know what you're going through, I know you don't. You can never know what I go through. Even my woman, I used to tell her, like, I say, babe, you know what it's like to be a black woman, but you have no idea what it's like to be a black man. It's totally different. I say, a white man will pull you over. He'll give you a chance. You light skin. As soon as he pull over me, he calling for backup.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The thing about me, I've just learned to diffuse situations so I can go home every day. I'm not one thing. I'm not one of those fighters. I'm not one of those people. When I get pulled over, I cut my phone on.
Right.
I'm one, and I get rolled. I'm cutting all the lights on, rolling all the windows down. By the time the police comes to my door, because they usually come from the right side, and then as soon as they say, hey, blah blah, I hand them my handgun license and I hand them my driver license. Once I give them my handgun license, they usually take their hand off their gun and start talking to me like a civilian. Right. And usually they let me go. Usually when I get pulled over now and I got my handgun license on me, they let me go.
That's real, brother. I mean, I can totally tell you, like I can attest to that. I got some situations where like, I let them know like, hey, from the beginning, like, hey, here's my identification. Because I don't need this to escalate. I got a kid back home. I got to get back home to that kid. So I'm gonna do whatever to make sure I get home to my kid. I done got
pulled over in country towns. I had a cop call me boy in Alabama one year. And I'm so petty, I was just like, I'm like, sorry, sir. You know, I shouldn't have been speeding, sir. I apologize, sir. Yes, sir. No, sir. Sorry, sir. And he let me go. You dig what I'm saying? So it's just one of those situations that when my 9-year-old gets of age where I know he's going to start driving, I'm going to sit him down and have a conversation with him and say, you know, son, when you get pulled over, all that pulling out your phones and arguing with the police officers, nah, son, argue with the police officers in court. I'd rather you take a ticket than lose your life.
Amen.
If you go to jail, I'm gonna burn you out. That's how I look at it. I'd rather you deal with them, do what they say, yes, sir. Even if they disrespectful, man, just come home.
Exactly. See, but that is the thing. And because don't get me wrong, I agree with you, right? It's just that we shouldn't have to deal with that. We shouldn't have to. We shouldn't have to sit our kids down and have that type of conversation with them. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not. You know, that's not. That's
the thing is. The jacked up part is we shouldn't have to, but the thing is we have to. And so that's the reason why when I talk to kids now, the first thing I always tell them, I say, I'm gonna give you an example. These kids nowadays, everybody smoke, you know, they do their thing or whatever. I always tell them, if you're gonna smoke, man, why not smoke at home? You say, why not smoke at home before you go where you're going? And they're like, that don't make sense. I say, yes, it do, because when a cop pull you over, you don't need to give them probable cause to search your car. You don't need to go in a restaurant and then you smell like weed and then you wondering why everybody turn around looking at you. You know, I'm just one of them people. I'm more of a, like I said, I'm a realist. I'm gonna give you what I used to do, and I'm gonna tell you what adjustments I made.
Right. So, that's real. That's real, man. Man, so you know, you went to TSU,
right?
Right. What made you? Is that what really made you want your kids to go to college, or what? Or you know, what made you say, hey, you know what? I want my kids to go. Like,
all right. I'm a second generation college family. My daddy went to college. My mama went to college. I went to college. I meet a lot of people that not meet them, but a lot of people I graduated high school with that didn't go to school. I see how their life turned out. And I'm not saying that it's in a shambles or anything, but a lot of people don't know how to adapt to adversity. They don't know how to go in a room full of 30 people you don't know and make a friend. A lot of them don't know how to be uncomfortable and still be comfortable.
Of course.
Like some people look at being uncomfortable as a bad thing. I look at it as a task or as a challenge.
Of course.
And first of all, I went to a black college. It don't get more harder than that. Because we don't get financial aid on time. No matter what office you go to, is always you in the wrong office. There's fights going on at campus. Stuff don't work. It taught me so much patience going to TSU. And I know I couldn't have been successful as an entertainer had I not gone to a black college. I say that to say this. My kids, I'm going to teach them about going to school. When I was young, I was in this little program that had kids where they would teach us etiquette. And then they when we was in our sophomore year, they started taking us to different colleges.
Right.
So I went to different colleges and seen how successful people live, successful blacks live. And I said, you know what? I'm going to be like that one day. My kids, they're going to go to school. I don't care if they go to community college, they're going to school. And they're not going to school at home. If you go to school, you're not going to school at home.
Right.
I want to go to LSU and University of Michigan, but you know, when they get older, they're gonna be like, Pops, I don't want to go there. They're gonna want to go wherever they go. But as long as my kids go to school and enjoy it, they'll thank me when they get older.
Amen. You said you want your oldest to go to Stanford?
Yeah, because he's into computers, bro. And like what it was, I asked him one day, I said, what college you want to go to? He was just like, really? I just want to go to the best college in the U.S. for technology. So I gave him a homework assignment. I said, why don't you find out which college has the best tech department? And it was Stanford. And also they got a good football team. My son plays football. So when he seen that, his face lit up. So that's what his goal is right now. It's Stanford. And I got a 2-year-old. We don't know about him yet.
I got a 2-year-old too, bro. Hey, but
LSU was my favorite team, but my daddy's from Michigan, so he diehard go blue.
Oh Lord.
So yeah, so we fighting over what school we want him to go to, but he's 2 years old.
That's real, bro. That's real, man. I love it, man. Trying to set your kids up for
Yeah.
success through education. But um, there's always like this debate between taking that college route and becoming an entrepreneur. But
Right, right.
have you ever like incorporated that in like your talks with your kids? Like, oh, hey, also, hey, you can also pick up a trade, or you can also do what? What are your thoughts on that?
One thing that I lacked growing up was my dad didn't know about ownership, about owning the block, owning the black business, owning the black dollar. He was always taught, get a job, go to school, get a job, have a family, save money, buy a house, have kids. What I've learned throughout the years is that you're really not going to be successful in life unless you own your business and you work for yourself. Let me explain what I mean by that. You can always work for somebody, but this coronavirus showed me that if you ain't no hustler, you ain't on top of your own business, you can't survive. And so now I'm teaching my kids like, hey, whatever you good at, try to find a way to make money at it. Find something that the world needs, or if there's a need for something, and I say create the solution for that. You're gonna be rich forever. It's some stuff. When I look at cell phones, there's so many little gadgets I think of in my head that come out, and then when I don't write them down, they come out. They come out.
That's
Like,
real.
and then, so that's why I teach my kids, like, look, every day you wake up, there's a problem. And if you can find a solution for the problem, you can get rich. Think about these pharmaceutical companies who coming up with this COVID vaccine. Come on, man. It's the same companies that make all the prescription drugs, man. They're gonna stay getting rich. So imagine if we open up a pharmacy. We can open up a pharmacy in our neighborhood. Just different little things, man, that we can make money doing in drugstores. Stuff that is gonna always be able to be open even when the pandemics come.
You're right. You're not wrong, bro. You're not wrong. I mean, the thing is, there is always a need, and just figuring out, hey, where can I put my skills, But that's real. That's real. Man, why so real quickly, yeah, I know we done shared a bunch of knowledge,
Right.
but a wise man once said, so many women after surgery have horrible bougie attitudes. We should do the humble high school challenge. Post your body in high school to now.
Right.
You think?
Go ahead before I answer it, man. Go ahead before I give you my answer.
So do you think women should remain humble after their I'm gonna call it body alterations? And
Yeah.
if why? Why? They invested in it, or somebody sponsored it. Why should they remain humble?
You should always remain humble because you gotta always remember where you came from and what you used to look like. I just don't respect nobody that bashes people for looking different than them just because you went to a doctor and he played operation on you. You know what I mean? Like, God made us all beautiful. I feel like God made us all beautiful. Only people that's not beautiful is people with horrible attitudes. And it just seems like nowadays it's a trend of women getting their body done. They start shaming other women. That's, to me, it's not cool. If a man talk to you, you got an attitude. It's like, why you got an attitude? I just don't like it, man. I just think women need to be just a tad bit more humble when they get their surgeries. Because you can always, something could always happen to you. You can have a car accident, one of your implants might blow up. You just never know, man. So always, bro, I'm telling you, man, I got a lot of homegirls that got their booty done. Lose that attitude. Listen, because when somebody do them Throwback Thursday pictures, they ain't gonna even recognize you.
Right. Now you're not wrong, bro. You're not at all.
Ugly ducking.
Say, fam, that man said the little
boom. That's how I feel, man.
Mm-hmm. Hey, man. So real quickly, it's a lot of violence taking place, man.
Right.
We just seen Mo 3 pass.
Right.
Boosie got shot out there in Dallas. So what are your thoughts, man, on the violence taking place in the streets? And what is this about? Them burning Big T down? Like they said part of Big T on fire. What's going on?
Nah, the AC unit blew up. They see you in the man. Big T just got old stuff. They got old equipment, bro. So that's what that was about. But the other stuff I really can't speak on because I don't really know what's really going on. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But what I will say is that when you take people and you hold them hostage in a house for months and months and months, they starve and they have no money. This is a result of what they've created in the system. And these are just people acting in a natural habitat. This ain't just Dallas. This is Houston too. This is every major city in the black community. It's like you create an area of town for blacks to live in. You give them the bare minimum, the less. White people get this. Upper class blacks get this, and the people in the hood they don't get nothing. It's like you hold some above them, they take it away. So what happens is when they see somebody look just like them get it, it causes a lot of envy. Or then you see somebody look like you just don't want to see them become successful. You know, and it's just so jacked up because it goes back all the way to the slavery times of how we look at each other. And it's going to always be like that. I don't think it'll never change until God comes back and changes the powers. When God puts black people back in power, I think things will change then because it won't be so much jealousy and envy. It won't be so much of the crab in the bucket mentality. See, I'm one of them people that's I really study our people, and I know why we act the way we act. We act because it's in our DNA. I feel like we cursed, man. My old man used to tell me about it in the Bible. He said, I don't remember what it was, but it was something the blacks did, the Africans did, or whatever. They went against God's word, and we suffering. We suffer. That's the reason why when they say Black Lives Matter, the one thing they always say is like, well, why y'all keep killing each other? And I always tell people, I said, that don't mean Black lives don't matter. It just means that we still jacked up as people. You know what I mean? I stay out the way, bro. I stay out the way because I'm one of them people that likes to start preaching. And a lot of the youngsters don't want to hear what I got to say. So I don't waste my breath trying to preach to an audience. I just preach to when I talk to people one-on-one.
Man, but the thing is, but that's the thing, though. You know, you never know who's hearing you. You know what I'm saying? I used to teach at T.W. Brown in Oak Cliff. You know what I'm saying?
So you know how their mentality is.
So when I say I know, bruh, like, man, I had one of my old students kick out the windows of a police car while he was inside handcuffed in the police car. You know what I'm saying? So
what do you think all that? Think about all that. Just think about how much aggression you have to have as a kid to kick out a window. That's the reason why they really fear us, man. Can you imagine if every black community in America, people said, you know what? We ain't gonna kill each other. We're not gonna be envious of each other. We're gonna stop spending our money with them and only grow our own food, create our own banks, our own doctors and everything. Man, the world will shut down. The only thing they're gonna do is come bombing like they did in Tulsa. So it's just for me. I just think this is something God gonna fix, man. I don't really think it's really no hope to get all blacks to get. I think God gonna have to come down and make something happen. That's just my personal opinion.
I feel that. I can respect that. Now when you say that, right? It kind of like makes me think about a question, right? That me and a couple of my friends we debated on. And
right.
Do you feel like segregation helped us or hindered us?
I think it would have helped us. It would have helped us. You know why? Because if we focus on our own, we can better our own. When we start trying to mix us in with everybody else, the playing field goes from, like, if we all separated just like this and then you put us together and they already got a head start, this is what it looks like. They already got a head start. You know, our whole life we trying to play catch up. We can't play catch up because they going up. And not only they going up, they still got strings and stuff that they can cut to make us go further and further down. So I think in the beginning, segregation probably really was for the best. We got to stop trying to always look for them to just face reality and focus on your community. Blacks need to say, you know what? We're going to rebuild our own community. Stop treating our community like trash and start rebuilding it. All the drugs and stuff sold in the hood, man, them dope boys need to rebuild the community. All the athletes that make it, go back to your community and rebuild it, man. So, I don't know, man. And I know I'm probably getting emotional about it, bro, but I just be feeling like, man, we do too much begging and asking for help and make us equal. We ain't never going to be equal, man. Just the facts, bro. That's why they always do that in elections, man. We need the black vote. Because we ain't equal to them. They don't never ask for the white vote. They got to ask for the black vote. They got to say, hey, can y'all please come vote? We know y'all don't vote. Shit.
Say, bro. Hey, we gonna definitely have to chop it up. Like just on some homie.
I got a whole way of thinking now, bro. I grew up Baptist, bro. I grew up Baptist. Yeah. As I got older, I got off into Islam, man. And I followed Farrakhan, bro. And listening to him speak and watching him grow, he really motivates me, man. And I just once I started really listening to him and getting off in the word, I started really understanding how jacked up we are as people, but not even just that, how cursed we are. And with us being cursed, we always going to be at a disadvantage. We always got to explain ourselves to people. We always got to justify why we did something. That's so messed up. Even when you live in the suburbs and you black, people hate black people. White people don't hate on you. Black people say, you think you better than us because we worried about where you live in. So that's why I be like, you know what? I got to continue to talk my talk when I talk to people, man. Because we got to change the way we think.
Yeah, man, you're right. You're right, bro. If you guys don't know, man, this is the rapper Fat Pimp that's sitting here with me, dropping these gems on y'all. So
yeah,
if you don't know, you need to know. You know, like my man, I appreciate this sincerely, brother. I really do. So you know the goal of this show, right, is philanthropy. Right, we try to garner support from the onlookers, people that that are watching, and put it towards a charity or nonprofit that you care about. What charity or nonprofit are we going to be? Are you going to spotlight today, and why is the cause that it faces so important to you?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Mm-hmm. I don't really have no name for any charity that I'm supporting because every year I got what I call Fat Love the Kids, and what I do is during Christmas time, I just find one of my female friends who I know is struggling and take care of her kids for Christmas. And even on Thanksgiving, me and a lot of my guys, we get together, we feed the homeless. Last year we gave out turkeys. I didn't do it this year because financially I really couldn't do like I did the last year. But one thing we try to do is we try to do things in our community giving back. And I really haven't figured out how to start the nonprofits, man. I got a buddy named M.E. who sat down with me this summer. We went to the East Dallas Projects. And we gave out tennis shoes. He gave out food. And we really donated our time just with these kids in the communities. And he sat me down about getting with these nonprofits. So that's something that I'm learning about. I really didn't know too much about it until this year. So if you ask me this question the same time next year, I'm going to be able to, for sure, give you the name and what our purpose is. I'm going to make sure I do it the right way. That's the reason why I'm not one of the people that's going to lie to you and just make up something. So I can't really give you a name today.
Hey, brother, it's all good. So what we're gonna tell people is this: you guys, go out there, go ahead, take this example of what he's doing, reach back out to your communities, go back to your roots, help out. You know, sponsor somebody else if you know that they're going through it. Sponsor someone. You know,
the best thing I tell people is if you got some extra money and you know that somebody's struggling by you, man, just gonna be a blessing to them. You know how much $20 goes to a woman or to a male that might not have enough money to get to work and payday ain't till next Friday? $20 go a long way, bro. Just imagine if you say you had an extra $100 on your check and you went and got like 5 gas cards, $20 a piece, and you just went around and you seen women about to pay for their gas, you just gave them $20. Or if you see a woman with a lot of kids and she by herself, pay for her gas, man. Not on no flirtations, but just hand it to her. Just say, hey man, you know, God put this in my heart to come up here and give it to you. So I just want to bless you, you know, with a $20, you know, gas card so you and your kids can get where you're going. And that to me go a long way. And that's another reason why I feel like I'm successful. It's another reason why I feel like I ain't never had no nothing ill done towards me, because I do right by my people, and I do right by God. And I feel like if you that type of person, you will always be protected. You ever wonder how your bills get paid? You ever wonder how your bills get paid and you really didn't make as much money as you thought that month, but all of a sudden the money come out of nowhere, you're like, man, I got a little extra money this week. You're able to pay your bills. Man, it's been months where I didn't have no shows. I still got to provide for my family. COVID is going on. I rarely get booked like I used to, but I'm still surviving. My lights on, my bills paid. I still got a studio that I can afford and make money. So with that being said, that's why you have to do for other people, and Earth is going to reward you. It might not be financial, but Earth always has a way of giving back what you put into it.
No, that's like, hey, look, bro. Hey,
bro, man.
Preach, man. Hey, preach,
hey.
dog.
Hey, man. Listen, bro. I'm a living testimony, dog. I ain't perfect by any means, man. I'm blessed to be alive, and as long as I'm living, I'm gonna run my mouth, bro, to people and just tell them my testimony and give them my way of thinking.
That's real, brother. Hey, man. You know, before we close out,
right,
because we always like to end with wisdom, right, for the next generation.
Right.
Man, you like I said, you dropped a lot of knowledge on here today, and I'm very, very appreciative of it, sincerely, bro.
Thank you, bro.
And whatever projects you got coming up, you know,
right.
we speak your around here. We speak your success into existence. Make it happen, man, for you and for your kids. I'm expecting next year we're gonna be in a different place. I'm gonna be interviewing you, and we're gonna you know, we're gonna be in person, and we're gonna definitely be in the studio somewhere. We're gonna be able to chop it up for real, man. For real.
I appreciate you, bro.
Nah, hey, shoot, man. I'm telling you, I'm thankful to you, man. But we like to close out with wisdom, though. So what words would you have for, you know, that young man that is, you know, in college, right? But he's struggling between staying in college and returning to the street life.
Street life gonna get you two things. You in a dead end jail, with the exception of maybe a small handful of people, bro. But one thing is guaranteed, bro, is prison and death. So what I would tell that person is that sacrifice that you make by going to college and staying in school, so you can figure out what it is that you want to do in life, that says it's gonna benefit you in the long run. I done seen every one of my partners that dropped out of school, started hustling, all of them been in prison. All of them. And they good people, but you know, at the end of the day, the way the system is set up is designed for you to do that and designed for you to fail. I can't see myself co-signing nobody dropping out of school to go sell no drugs or just to be in the streets in general, because I feel like why you even waste your time going to school? You know what I mean? If you were just gonna drop out and just give up. So man, just go to school. If you don't like it, it's one thing. If it's not for you, that's cool too. But to make that decision to just leave school and jump in the streets, it's like, nah. Go to school and enjoy it. It's not even about to me, it's not even about that piece of paper. School is about the experience. School is about the networks that you're going to have for the rest of your life. All my friends now, 99.9% of them are people I met in college. I got one person that I kick it with that didn't go to school with me, but everybody else went to college with me. So there you have it, bro.
Hey, bro, that's real. Hey, who would you recommend for an interview like this?
Oh, man.
Who should I reach out to, man?
I think right now, I think Big King would be good. Are you familiar with Lil Ronnie?
Man, of course, man, yeah, dog.
That's my brother, man. So he definitely would be. Yeah, them too.
Okay, so hey, man, if you could let him know, I'm gonna slide him a DM and try to book him for, you know what I'm saying, one of these sessions.
I got you, bro.
I appreciate that, my dog, man. Thank you so much for your time. Hey, how can we support you though? I know you got some things coming up, man.
just know it's going. Like, I put you like this: come January, I'm dropping all new music. So just as long as they on my I Am Fat Pimp on Instagram, I Am Fat Pimp on Twitter, just stay in contact with me because December gonna be all I'm doing in December is shooting videos and getting everything mixed and mastered. And come January, I got a project coming out called The Art of Ratchet with me and this artist out of Houston named Tim Ned. We got that coming out. Me and Tum Tum got a project coming out. I'm gonna drop a solo project, and I got another movie I'm in too called Low Key. We actually got a movie premiere on the 12th of December, so look out for that. Look out for The Choir. It's another movie we shot with Fred Hammond. So y'all stay tuned, man. I got 2-3 movies coming out, projects coming out. When the fall roll back around, I'm back coaching football. we ain't stopping, man. We're gonna stay at it and we're gonna stay busy.
Most definitely. So look, hey man, we're gonna be on the lookout for the actor Fat Pimp, rapper Fat Pimp, man. Yeah. And Coach Pimp.A. Man, thank you again so much for your time, bro. You have a blessed, amazing day, man.
Hey, you too, man. Be blessed. Yeah, man.
Man, oh man, I'm so thankful to have had actor and rapper Fat Pimp join me this evening. You guys, make sure you guys stay tuned. Make sure you guys follow him at I Am Fat Pimp on all these different social media platforms. Oh man, I hope he reaches out to Beat King, and I hope he reaches out to Lil Ronnie. And shoot, honestly, Tum Tum too. I listen to all of them. But anyway, besides all that, gotta close out with shouting out my sponsor one more time, and that is Spirit Tree. So make sure you guys, if you're in the Austin, Texas area, you download Spirit Tree to get your food and your drinks. I want to say shout out to him and shout out to you guys. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. And if you enjoyed the content, make sure to think about donating to $Ezel Moon. Y'all have a blessed, amazing evening. And once again, I'm Ezel Moon, and I'm not doing it unless it's fun and it helps people. Peace. Purchase my book, Purple Mike Wants a Bike, at Amazon.com. You can find it there. Just type in Purple Mike, type in Ezel Moon, and it'll pop up. If you guys want to follow me, no, not even if, go follow me at Ezel Moon _ on Twitter and Instagram. I'm Ezel Moon, and I'm not doing it unless it's fun and it helps people.